Oh, look. Another glorious morning. Makes me sick. It's my terrific acting for you guys. What's up, you guys? Erika here, and I'm back today with another video for you. So as you can probably guess, we are going to be turning into Winifred Sanderson today. So let's do it. So getting started, we're starting out with a bare face, and the first thing we're going to be doing today is gluing down our eyebrows. So the first step in doing that is we are going to take some rubbing alcohol and get rid of any excess oils or makeup that might have been left over. So really get in there. I apparently did have some dirt in there. Gross. Next, I am moving on to the glue. I'm taking the Elmer's glue stick in the purple glue, and I am really going to thoroughly apply this glue. You want to go with the grain, against the grain, and be smarter than me, guys. Try to leave the glue just on the hair. This glue on the outer part was really difficult to take off later on, so try to stick to just the hair. And here I am applying and doing the same thing on the other side. I did follow a Patrick Starr tutorial on how to do this, and they emphasized using a comb like this one. They actually used a metal comb, but this is what I had on me, so this is what I used, and it seemed to work pretty well. But they do say you could use a spoolie, but honestly, when I was doing this process, I feel like doing this with a spoolie would be close to impossible. So definitely get yourself a little comb that you can really scrape down these hairs. This part is extremely important. You want to make sure that the hair is laying as flat as possible. I would suggest moving fairly quickly with this step if you're able to. If you notice, once I get to the tail end of this eyebrow, I begin tugging really hard on my skin because the glue had already begun to dry, so it wasn't the most comfortable thing. So now that our brows are looking real crazy, you need to let these dry, and then we're going to repeat this step 2 more times. To color correct our eyebrows, we are going to be using a red/orangey lip liner. Here I am using Red by MAC, and I am going to lightly feather this over my brows. Then I'm taking a powder foundation brush and just trying to blend that in. So this is what I was referring to earlier. Here I'm taking a makeup wipe and trying to clean up that excess glue. Now it's time to completely cover up these brows. So here I am first using the applicator of my concealer to completely cover up the brows. As you can see here, the brows are still kind of peeking through the concealer. I honestly only did the glue step twice. I would definitely recommend doing it 3 times, but time wasn't really on my side on this day. So now I am moving on, and I'm going to gently blend out this concealer. Here I am applying another layer of concealer with my fingers, really trying to get it in to fill in any holes. I was definitely a little disappointed. I wanted my eyebrows to be completely non-existent. I do think taking the time to do another layer of glue might have done the trick, but that's okay. This was only my second time trying to make my eyebrows disappear, so for that I will cut myself some slack. To completely set these eyebrows, or non-eyebrows should I say, I'm going to be taking the Airspun Loose Face Powder with this powder puff, and I am going in with this powder, you guys. Please do not be shy. We need to make sure that these hairs are not going to budge at all once we start applying makeup over it. So really go to town with this powder and the powder puff. And now that we look super duper creepy, let's put on these adorable pair of Winifred ears made for me by my incredible friend Sariea. I'm now moving on to my foundation. I am applying a Laura Mercier foundation. Again, all products that I'm using in this tutorial will be listed in the description box below. So be sure to go ahead and take a gander down there if you're interested in anything that I've used. If you have seen me apply foundation once, you've seen me do it 1,000 times. I'm applying it as normal, but just being extra gentle near my eyebrows. Make sure you're not neglecting your ears, your neck, and your lips. You want to apply a nice even coat over your lips because we will be doing Winifred's signature lip look, so do not forget those areas. Now time for some fun. Grabbing the Modern Renaissance palette, I am going to be picking up this cool toned nude in the shade Warm Taupe, and I'm going to focus this shadow on the inner corner of my eye. I really want to stress to you that this eyeshadow look doesn't have to be perfect, but I also spent a lot of time with the eye shape that I wanted for Winifred. So as you can see here, I'm focusing the majority of the product on the inner corner and kind of flicking it out towards the outer corner. This is normally what I would be doing, or my technique that I normally use, but it's usually on the outer corner. I really wanted Winifred's eyes to look very sunken in and dark. I didn't want there to be any brightness to her eyes, so creating this shadow will definitely help. Since I'm kind of going for that sunken in, haggard look, I'm going to be taking a darker brown, and I'm really going to carve out the hollows of my eyes. I'm also going to bring this dark shade down the sides of my nose. I want to do kind of a reverse contour here. I want my hollows of my eyes to look very dark and sunken in, like I've said, but I'm also trying to go for that imperfectly perfect witch nose as well. Here, I wanted to show you guys the shape that I'm kind of following, kind of like a C, if you will, and that is the shape that I continue to follow through with that dark eyeshadow. Continuing on with this haggard look that we are going for, I will start laying down my contour lines. Again, I am not trying to make my nose look thin here, I am trying to make it a little thicker. After my reverse nose contour, I am then going to accentuate the bags that I already have. Thanks a lot, Juliana. Basically what I'm doing is just overly exaggerating and accentuating any of those aging wrinkles and lines that we all know and love. Here I am kind of deepening up my smile lines, and this whole time I am using that darker eyeshadow, the Cyprus Umber. We will be blending out these harsh lines that we're drawing all over our face, so don't freak out just yet. It suddenly dawned on me that I did want Winifred to have some eyebrows. So here I am, I'm kind of freestyling this. I don't really have an image that I'm following for reference. I just wanted the inner corner of her brow to be a little arched. And once I was happy with the left side, I went ahead and did the same thing on the right, minus that arch in the front. Next, I'm picking up the TooFaced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I am going to use a blending brush with this bronzer to diffuse those harsh lines that we put down. Here on the same fluffy brush, I picked up more of that bronzer and applied it to the lower inner corner of my eyes, just for some more depth and to make us look real tired and real aged. After that, I'm taking the brush that we applied our foundation with to buff out those harsh lines a little further. Going back to my eyes, I am taking the Mercier Cake Eyeliner along with the brush that is included with it, and I am going to apply this really everywhere. I am going beneath my lashes, in my waterline. I will also tightline my eyes, and then I'm going to give myself the teeniest smudged out wing on top as well. I personally feel that applying black eyeliner in this way really gives you that grunge, dark, amplified look that we're going for here. Now returning back to the face, I am taking that small blending brush with some translucent powder, and I am doing reverse highlighting. So anywhere that we put bronzer, I want to create those shadows and make sure they're very dramatic. So I am just highlighting beneath anywhere that we made those accentuating lines. With all that blending we did, I'm certain we lost some of that concealer that we used to mute out our lips. So here I am applying just a little bit more before we move on to Winifred's signature look. For Winnie's lip color, I'm going to be using BH Cosmetics Cream Luxe lipstick in the shade Red Truffle. And I'm pretty sure you guys know the drill here. I am going to draw kind of a heart shape on the top lip and then just kind of match those lines on my bottom lip. I found it a lot easier to use a lip brush in this case because I wanted the lines to be very precise. I went ahead and drew a little over my natural lip line because I was going for that perfect poisonous pout. Another signature Winifred look for me are her bright red cheeks. So it seems like her blush tends to be somewhat close to her nose and not very well blended. So what I did was I took that lipstick and I just applied a little bit to my fingertips and blended that into my cheeks. I used it as more of a cheek stain as opposed to a blush, and it gave me that harshness that I love in Winnie's makeup. And once you've got that beautiful flush of color, that's it. You're Winifred.